Morning. So today, let's talk about why I lost in court. It's very simple. They tricked me into talking subject matter, but we need to rewind so you fully understand how they were able to do that. When I was writing my second affidavit, which was the challenge of jurisdiction, I was being attacked by gray aliens. And what they were doing specifically was they were draining my crown chakra of my higher mind. So it feels like a buzzing in the right ear, and it feels like you're under attack, because the reason why they were attacking me is because they want exactly what they got, which was leverage over me. They wanted a way to put me in a position where if I leak their precious Masonic secrets on YouTube, they'll send me right back to Florida and face a felony conviction. And you have to understand, it's exactly like the first Matrix movie where the operator says to Neo regarding Morpheus being captured by the agents, the operator says to Neo, he's like, the mind is like a computer, all it takes is time, in reference to the agents hacking Morpheus's mind. Which is why, when I was in court, I went on last. I was the very last one to go in court, and I was shaking in nervous fear, nervous tension the whole time. And it was so bad that my DNA had shriveled up from being in fight or flight mode for so long. This is my favorite one. My only vice is this can right here, the low carb. Best flavor ever. So, what happened was, at the very end, the thing was, I did everything right until the very end, which is where they got me. They got me to make a mistake with their Jedi mind tricks, and I'm going to explain this so we're all crystal clear. At the very end, she had the prosecutor. She said, okay, I'll give you the whole thing. At the very end, she says, because we were going around in circles, you know, with the jurisdiction and this arguing status and jurisdiction, so we kept going around in circles. So she starts going, you know, so Judge Lisa Campbell says to me, raise your right hand, and do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? I'm like, yeah, whatever. So then she's like, you're charged with interception of wire, oral, or electronic communication. Do you understand the charges? And I said, for the record, I do not understand the charges, not because I'm mentally incompetent, but because I do not understand the jurisdiction. And then she's like, prosecutor, read off the description of what the FBI said about him. And then the prosecutor's like, well, the FBI said, you know, he uploaded this to YouTube and blah, blah, blah. And then the judge looks at me and she says, did you do this? Did you do this? And right at that time, I was completely mind fucked. I was completely mind hacked. I was completely out of control of myself. So what happened was, when the judge said, she looked at me and she said, did you do this? Did you do this? What I did was, my head was bowed down, like this. Bowed down. My eyes were completely closed. And I said, for the record, I did not. And I was like 70% possessed. So I had my eyes closed and my head was like bowed down. And that was someone else speaking for me. And at the time, I didn't even know what happened. It's like I didn't even like wake up from that till like the next day. I mean, I was there mentally, but I wasn't all the way there mentally. And it, like I said, it was like a 70% possession. And it's like Jay Essex said, if your spirit guides are strong enough, they can possess you. And I got fucked that day because I knew what I was doing. And it's one of those things where it's a concept. It's not something you have to study. If you understand the concepts of the court and sovereignty as it relates to Moorish sovereignty or the living soul argument, it's not something you have to study. It's just a concept. And so in other words, it's foolproof unless you're surrounded by a bunch of gray aliens and a Naga Serpent judge who are going to pull a Jedi mind trick on you. So I really didn't lose that day, just that they had to screw me over with their Jedi mind tricks. And I'm not being funny, I'm being dead serious. This is what happened. And as a matter of fact, I'll tell you what, the next day I was writing another affidavit because I was filing a notice of judgment saying that I gave you 21 days to send me an oath of office, oath of ethics, bond numbers, and delegation of authority order. And because you failed to respond, I demand this case be dismissed because you had all this time to give me what I asked for in discovery and you never did. And of course I don't expect them to drop it, I'm just putting all this shit down for the record. And the other thing I did, which had the gray aliens really start attacking me, was I filled out a formal complaint to the judge board, the judge commission. You know, the people, if you have a complaint against a judge, there's a commission that you write to. And I wrote to those judges, I wrote to that judge commission and I said, hey, I was surrounded by 5 bailiffs. I was never given one contempt of court warning. Not one contempt of court warning, and I was surrounded by 5 bailiffs. Explain that, Lisa. You know what I also said? I also said that she ignored all my affidavits I sent in, which is highly illegal. I said she violated the rules of discovery because I, once again, requested for, I gave her 21 days to send me oath of office, oath of ethics, bond numbers, and delegation of authority order. See, the thing is, when you send in the writ of discovery, they have to answer every point on that paper, which they did not. And my first question to her, and I sent this into the judge commission too, I said my first question to her was, did you read my affidavits? No response. And the next complaint I had that I wrote down with the judge commission, I said, I asked Lisa Campbell, the judge, the so-called judge, if Judge Fudge lacked judge, I asked her if this is a court of common law or is this a municipality. She totally ignored that question. And for those who don't know, the reason why you ask that question is because if it's a court of common law, they have to show you a verified injured party, which obviously they can't in my case. And if it's a municipality, a municipal judge can only act ministerially and cannot act in a judicial capacity. And so this is why she didn't answer the question at all, because and the thing is, because it is a municipality, she doesn't even have the authority to sit in on the fucking meeting. She doesn't have the authority to hear a case. She can only act ministerially. So this is why she didn't answer the question. When I asked her, is this a court of common law or is this a municipality? She couldn't even answer. She didn't even answer the fucking question. I mean, it doesn't get any more one-sided than what I witnessed firsthand. And they were all prepared for it. you could tell they rehearsed that down to the smallest micron possible. So this is all just a bunch of crap because they're just holding this over my head. That's all this is them holding this over my head. So they're going to teach me the Masonic secrets, and then if I ever leak it, they're just going to ship me back to Florida. And the thing about it is that I basically have to wait till Florida is underwater if I ever want to go back to Egypt, which is America. See, I'm Moses, and Moses is about to go ahead with the Exodus, and they're about to ship me off to Australia, where I'll get into this in the next video because this is a separate topic, but I'm either going to meet up with Cyrus King or the people in Australia. Probably Cyrus King first. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. It's either one or the other. It's either Cyrus King or the people in Australia. But I always knew that Cyrus King would be one of my teachers because he seems like the only one who wants anything to do with the humans or the half-humans. And I remember there was one video where I said, Cyrus King, I choose you because I could tell he had what I wanted, and I know he has what I want because he's the one who put half the thoughts in my head. I'm also seeing a lot of synchronicities involving Cyrus King. Like when I was watching his video yesterday, I was the 33rd viewer, and when I was watching his original videos, I saw so many 33s on his videos, it was like crazy. So there's obviously a flow, there's a zeitgeist, if you will, that's moving me toward Cyrus King, so I'll get to more of this in the next video.